Hey, Nirvana Mama here, and this is Hairbrush Poetry Jam. And today I'm going to read for you a poem I wrote called Down. This poem is in Song of the Leviathan, and I'm also planning to read it later this month at a local poetry slam. So here it is. I hope you enjoy it. Down. Down by the waves in the trees and mud was a little girl I knew. She used to smile and skip and dance when she wore something blue. She'd comb her hair and kick her legs and giggle all day through. Down by the waves in the trees and mud played a little girl I knew. Down by the water in the quiet night, I heard her soft voice cry. She shook her head and closed her eyes and wondered if she'd die. Her easy days were over fast when she climbed up too high. Down by the water in the quiet night, I still hear that soft cry. Down by the ocean where the waves will churn, this young girl lost her way. She turned around and stretched too far and never came back, they say. Her sassy eyes and twinkling smile have been gone since that day. Down by the ocean where the waves will churn, that girl who lost her way. Okay, so that poem is written with a very childlike voice and a sort of playful nature. When I was writing it, I was going for a kind of something like a nursery rhyme. And if you haven't read Song of the Leviathan, what you might not know, is that the poems are in chronological order. So you can, if you read the book from front to back, you get sort of a loose narrative that follows my life. And so the poems, one thing that I do is whenever I'm writing a poem that is in an early part of my life, I try to have a voice in the writing that corresponds with the age and time period that I'm recapturing. And so some of the early poems have a kind of playfulness to them. And then the voice of the poems kind of grows and matures as you get further through into the book. And so I have a lot of fun whenever I'm doing something that has that kind of childish playfulness to it. And it's something that I think comes from my really, really early love of poetry. And I will tell you more about that because it's time for combing through. Bits of books and blurbs and backstory bits. That's what combing through is. We're detangling my life. And today we're talking about my early love of poetry and how it influenced my writing style. So one of the reasons why I like to capture this kind of a voice is because I fell in love with poetry at a very young age, and I was really paying attention to playing with words and rhyming and the rhythm of different lines and different thought patterns and things. And my introduction to it was Shel Silverstein. So I was in a gifted class, and it was a type of class that was a pull out one day a week. And that was always my favorite day of the week. And I just loved the things that we learned about and the way that the style that it was taught to us and the different kinds of thinking that we did. And my favorite part of the gifted class day was the teacher would sit us down for reading time, and she would read us Shel Silverstein. And she would usually have a couple of poems picked out, and then she would also take requests. And so that was what I remember being my favorite part of elementary school was whenever our teacher would read to us Shel Silverstein poems. And so this year, for my birthday, I got some new editions. I've got Where the Sidewalk Ends. This is a new special edition that is available now. I've got Falling Up. And of course, A Light in the Attic. So Shel Silverstein, I think it's not too hard to see how, if you're looking at his work, you can kind of see how his style influenced mine. And I just love the way that he thought and the way that he played with words. It was just really, it was just really entrapping to me, where it just really took me into this kind of place that I just loved being. And so because I write about different autobiographical stories, whenever I'm trying to write about something that I struggled with growing up, I try to put that some of that childhood, childish playfulness tone to it, some of that innocence, and it adds a great element to it, and it's something that now you can see where it came from. Okay, so there's only one thing left to do. I think like a scholar and spin like a baller, so hit the subscribe if you care what I holler, the bell and the like, and you'll show me some love. My jam is a poem. I don't ask for much because who needs a microphone? I have a hairbrush.